So let's go through it. I was married at 22, and I've had a lot of fun experiences with my wife, and it taught me a lot, and it's really helped me to grow as a person. So let me go through some things. There's a lot of expectations that you might have. When I was first getting married, I had all these expectations of my wife. I thought, you know, it's going to be great having a wife. I'll be someone to cook for me, you know, take care of me. She'll be able to take care of all the house things. She'll be supportive of me. You know, I didn't see any downside to having a wife. And I soon learned that some of my expectations might not have been the most accurate. So the first month, I come home and I'm thinking, man, why isn't dinner there? I'm like, okay, well, it's the first month. We've gone through a lot. So, you know, maybe if we go to 6 months, and I was like, thought to myself, okay, you know, like, there's a lot of reasons why dinner should have been there. She was home all day. I was at work. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, let's see what happens. And I finally came to the conclusion, and I finally accepted the fact, you know, that my wife wasn't going to cook me dinner. But I did come to the fact that my wife had a lot of other things she wanted to do. And so I thought to myself, what the heck? I got takeout for us. We don't have to worry about it. And she says, you're great. You get a back massage. I said, okay, I'll take the back massage. I got no dinner. I got a back massage. That's a lot better. And this one really goes with observation of reality. I saw first my wife didn't do it the first month. 6th month, I saw she wasn't going to do it. So it's not really logical for me to think in reality that she's going to make me it for the year. So I accepted that fact, and I did something about it. So second one. So I always tell her, make sure you check the pockets of my shirts, because I sometimes leave pens. But she always tells me, make sure you take the pens out of your pockets, because I never check the pockets. So the first month, we have a stain, and there's just my white shirts that I only have like 6 of them. You know, it gets a stain on it, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe this will teach her a lesson. She won't do it ever again, because she knows I only have 6 and we're going to have to buy new shirts. Well, it comes to the next month, and I tell her, make sure you do it. And she tells me, make sure you take the pens out. And it gets even worse. It went over all of our clothes. She bought new clothes, and it went all over it, ruined it. She was so mad at me, it was unbelievable. So I thought, maybe she's doing this to teach me a lesson. So we go to the next one. And I think, I just don't say anything, because I'm thinking to myself, maybe she'll do it if I don't say anything. But she keeps telling me, I hope you learned your lesson. And I really did, because I never left pens in my pockets again. And this deals with releasing control. I was trying to force my wife to do something she didn't want to do. And I understood the fact that she's not going to have that. You know, and it doesn't have a happy marriage involved with it. So the next one. So the first month, I tell her, you know, honey, maybe you shouldn't go to Zumba, because you got a lot of homework. And regardless of that fact, she goes to Zumba. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then at night, she's all stressed out because she didn't get her homework done. So she tells me, you got to help me with my homework. So now I'm thinking, okay, I told you once. So next time you're going to listen to me, right? So we go to the next one, and we get in a fight because she doesn't like hearing that from me. You know, so she wants to do her own thing. She says, you're not supportive of me. You know, you're not helping me do everything. So I'm like, okay, well, let's try this 6 months. So we're already tired. We're living on our own for the first time, all messed up. I tell her, you know, don't go out. We're going to get sick. It's the worst time of the year. You're going to get sick. But, you know, she goes out with her friends. I think, okay. And she gets sick. So I tell her, see, now I need to go take care of you because you went and you got sick and I knew you were going to get sick. And so we get in an argument saying it wasn't because of that, and we get in a huge argument. So now I'm thinking with a year's experience, right? My wife's pregnant. And she wants to go to the One Direction concert with her 2 younger sisters. And I tell her, that's a good idea. Have a great time at the One Direction concert, even though I know you're pregnant and you're about to have a baby. So she goes. But what happens, she doesn't have that great of a time. So then I tell her, oh, that's too bad. I was having a great time sleeping. And so I started to learn that sometimes you just have to relax. You can't control everything, every person, but what you can do is you can make the best out of it. And there's no reason to get all stressed out about something that shouldn't be stressed out. You shouldn't be stressed out about. So I go to my final lesson. First month, she talks about her family. And she always asks me, what do you think about this family situation? And I tell her, okay, I'll tell you my opinion. This is what I think. But it always ends up in an argument, every time. So I was talking to my brother Jacob, and I was like, Jacob, I'm having this problem. She asked me for my opinion. I tell her, that's my opinion. She doesn't like my opinion. We get in an argument. So I'm like, I came up with an idea. And I said, okay. She asked me my opinion. I say, hey, I don't want to talk about it. We always end in an argument. But then she says, oh, don't worry. I can handle it. Just give me your opinion. And I know we won't get in an argument. So I tell her, no, I really don't want to talk about it. We always get in an argument. So now she's just angry at me. She's like, she's thinking, it's even worse because you're not even telling me anything. So you don't agree with me, plus you're not telling me, so now I'm even more angry. So I talk to Jacob, and I find a solution. And so the first year, just years of experience, I tell her, you know, that's a tough situation you're in. I agree with you. I agree with the situation. And it all goes away. And it deals with knowing when to talk. Deals with knowing when you should say something and when you shouldn't say something. So all these things I start to observe. You know, I thought all these expectations of my wife were wrong, but I start to self-analyze myself and my wife. And I start to realize that we were meant for each other. And in reality, she is perfect for me. And there's nothing wrong with her at all. But it goes to something else. I start to realize that I don't like to cook. You know, I don't like to do the laundry. I don't like to check pockets. I'm the one who stays up late doing homework and asking her to, you know, take care of the baby or things. And I'm the one who doesn't like people talking bad about my family. And I start to realize all these different things about myself. And I start to realize the problem wasn't that my wife didn't live up to my expectations, but it's that I don't live up to my own expectations. And the hard fact about it is, you know, my wife really helped me to realize that I need to accept myself, regardless of all the limitations, all the strengths and weaknesses I have. I need to accept myself and not put expectations on myself. So for a happy life, guys, it's kind of simple. You got to observe. Got to see what your wife is doing, what the limitations are. You got to release control. You got to learn to relax and really know when to talk. But the biggest one of all is you got to learn to accept yourself and forgive yourself. And a lot of these things past year I've had a really good time with. And I know that if you do this, it'll really bless your life and it'll make you a happy husband or wife. And that's it. Thank you very much.